when somebody says, God can't need you, God can't need your mitzvahs, Hashem can't be lacking anything. He can't be chasser, he can't be missing. What's the best response?
Number of things. Number one, what do you mean he can't be? Who are you talking about? You're telling the Eibishter what his rules are? That he can't be chosed, he can't need anything. If he wants to need, he needs. What do you mean he can't? What kind of language is that? That's number one. Number two, we're not talking about the Eibishter's existence needs help. Of course he exists without us, Kaidim Shenivra Olam, and he'll be after the world is not. Avada, he'll exist without us. That's the Yud Gimel Ikrim. We don't make him smarter, we don't make him older, we don't make him stronger, we don't make him bigger. That means that he has no kavanah, he has no plan, he has no purpose. Then he's a getchke.
But this is where the word need throws people off.
Okay.
Because it's implying, like, I need food, and if I don't have food, he won't exist. So if he doesn't have termisus, he won't exist.
So don't be so childish.
Okay.
You need food in order to live, which means you don't really need food. Food is not your true need. That's why it's a chesaron. You need it to get to what you really want. The Eibishter doesn't need something to get to where he really wants. But what he really wants, he really wants. And the other question is like this. What do you mean the Eibishter needs nothing? So he created the world? He gave us Torah and mitzvahs? He's punishing us if we don't do Torah and mitzvahs? What is that all about? So the answer is he wants. Rotzen Elyon. Right? Torah is a tzeinei shel. How can you want something if you're perfect? It's the same question. And you're not answering the question by saying he wants.
Well, the answer, he wants it for our benefit.
Doesn't matter what he wants it for, but he wants. Where does that come from? If he's too perfect to need, he's too perfect to want. So you say, no. He wants it not because of a weakness, he wants it because of a gutzkeit. That's what I'm saying. He needs it for a gutzkeit. Why is that any worse than wanting for a good? Okay. Or in other different words. The question of how could the Eibishter want is just as strong as how can the Eibishter need. On the other hand, if you're content and you're comfortable with saying the Eibishter wants, but he doesn't need, then you're making chayzik. Where he wants something that isn't necessary. So if you have a problem with the word need, verstehe ich. I understand. It sounds like, okay, fine. What word do you want to use to describe the fact that the Eibishter is never without? There's no Eibishter without Torah. It's not optional. What word do you want to use? That mitzvahs are necessary to the Eibishter? Okay, is that better than need? That mitzvahs are essential to him? That it is him? That a reis of a kutshabrichu kulachad sounds better? But what does kulachad mean? That you can't separate the two. Saying Rotzen Elyon suggests that he wants it. He doesn't have to have it. He doesn't have to have it. He is it.
So you're saying you're left with, this is the only word that would get the point across, although it's not the optimal word.
Does the Torah use the Lashon Tzerich Elyon?
Yes. Tzerich Gavoya.
Tzerich Gavoya. So how do you translate tzedek in English? Maybe it's not the best translation, but
So, so we understand how it could be misleading, but there's no option.
so think a little deeper. Don't be so childish.
Even though it could have ramifications, because it could sound like Kefirah, which is what's ruffling people's feathers. Like, because immediately when people think need, like we said, they think, oh, like I need for my existence. You say Hashem needs a mitzvahs, it makes it sound at first glance that if he doesn't get the mitzvahs, then he's not going to exist anymore.
So why isn't it kefirah to say that the Eibishter got angry? Why isn't it kefirah to say that the Eibishter was upset? Because you're not talking to babies. You understand? Loi machshavei sai, machshavei seichem. But don't say the Eibishter doesn't have machshava. He doesn't think. So, oh, think. That sounds human. Where's the kefirah? If you say the Eibishter can't exist without Torah, that's kefirah.